So I'm happy to say to introduce you to Mike Stewart, who was coming here in Hungary for an open course for 3 days. So a few questions, Mike, in order to know more about your course. First one, what is No Pain?
Yeah, No Pain is a workshop, a course, CPD course, for healthcare professionals, not just for physiotherapists, but for all healthcare professionals. Anyone who tries to help patients understand why things hurt, why they still have pain that keeps going. And It's been going in the UK for a few years now, and then in different countries, recently in France now, but in New Zealand and in different parts of Europe, and in Asia.
Okay, great. So as you said, you've done your first course in France. It
Yeah,
ended today.
yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was quite nice.
yeah, really enjoyed it. It was nice to come and work in France and to see how French physios engaged with the content of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
course. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I've seen that. How do you think you can help French physios with your course, your content?
Yeah. Well, I think in France, and I think from the discussions that we've had over these last 3 days with the physios, in France it's no different to anywhere else in the world. Wherever I go and teach, whether it's in Singapore or whether it's in Auckland or in the UK, um, we face the same problem. We see lots of people who have pain that keeps going. It's an epidemic. In uh, in America, there are 43 million people. In the UK, 15 million. In Europe, 19% of European adults have pain that keeps going.
That's huge.
So it's a huge problem that we see a lot of. And whether you're a physio working in France or in the UK or in Australia or anywhere, we all face the same problems, which is how do we help these people?
Okay.
They have complex problems, and we can't just help them with simple methods. We need to find new skills.
Yes, yes. Okay. I know that during the course you asked all the delegates to make a wish,
Yeah,
and so what kind of wish do they make usually?
yeah, yeah. Most people have similar wishes, and again, wherever they are in the world, and those wishes are often, I wish to be able to help my patients understand things better. I want to empower my patients to be able to self-manage and to control their problem. I want to feel better about helping people with complex problems. I don't want to feel guilty that I can't help them. I have to wave goodbye to them and I say sorry. And to feel more confident in maybe using some psychological strategies, some interventions, things that go beyond the traditional things that we maybe thought of physiotherapy,
Yeah, yeah.
and to incorporate the biopsychosocial model.
Okay. In France, this model is not very well known. Um, can you, in just 2 minutes, tell us about this model?
Yeah, well, I trained in a biomedical model, which I think is maybe what most people do in France.
Of course, yeah.
And biomedical really is quite narrow. It's almost in some ways like wearing blinkers, like the horse with the blinkers. All I'm looking at is the muscles and the joints and the mechanics of the person. And there's a simple reality, which is we are not mechanics, and we don't treat motor cars.
Yeah, yeah.
We treat human beings, and human beings are complex, and they have lots of problems. So, of course, and I'm sure lots of physios who listen to this conversation, they'll recognise that their patients have complex needs, not just that their muscles are stiff or their joints are tight, or the needs that go beyond those. So they have anxieties about movement. They get frightened about doing things. They have all sorts of worries about, they're not working, they're not earning money, maybe their boss isn't happy. So, yeah, we deal with lots of emotional stress, and we need to develop skills that can help people with those things.
Okay. So as a physio, what kind of skills can you use to address those kind of problems, anxiety or stress
Yeah.
toward movement, for example.
There's lots, and on the course on No Pain, I help people to try and make sense in a very practical way, so in a useful way of how to use motivational interviewing.
Yeah.
Motivational interviewing is all about finding what's important for the person in front of you, what's their desire, what do they want,
Yeah.
yeah, and helping them to understand, not you telling them,
Yes.
but for them to understand that.
Yes.
Also, my MSc is within education, so we call this pain education.
Yes.
So I try to help people understand pain, clinicians to understand pain, and to help their patients understand pain. But also, you have to understand how to educate. I recently did a conference in the UK, and there was 400 people. And I started the conference by saying, how many of you teach your patients every day? And everybody put their hand up.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. And then I said, how many of you are trained to teach? How many people have a teaching qualification? 2 people.
Yeah.
So I think the course is all about learning how to help people make sense of why things hurt in a very sensible, practical way. But also it's about learning how to facilitate, how to guide people.
Okay.
And that's really psychology is about improving communication, improving acceptance, helping people to accept that they maybe have to change a few things, or they have to learn how to cope, manage better.
Okay. So, what kind of tools can you use to do this? I know you use a lot of metaphors.
Yeah. Metaphors are really where my academic work is within metaphors. And metaphors can be really helpful because they help people to reconceptualize pain and to understand it in a different way. For example, lots of people come to see us and they're really frightened that they're doing damage all the time. They do something simple like they lift the kettle, and they're really worried that they're causing harm because they get lots of pain when they just lift something simple. But in reality, that's not damage. These people have had pain for 10 years. The damage, the injury to the tissues has gone. You don't have a cut finger that lasts for 10 years.
Yeah.
So the issue has gone with the tissues a lot. And what we help people to do through metaphors is to understand how the nervous system becomes sensitive, a bit like a fire alarm might become sensitive and keep going off full. So there's lots of ways, there's lots of little psychological and communication and educational ways, methods that I can help people to understand, so as then you can go into your practice the next day or the next week and you can use it immediately and practice with your patients.
Okay, great. I know that you asked for some feedback from the delegates. So you asked through a form at the end of the course. But do you have some feedback later and with practice?
Yeah, lots. It's nice because I'm on Twitter. I'm almost addicted to Twitter.
Yeah.
You're on Twitter, and on Twitter, I have lots of people feeding back. So people who've been to the course, maybe 3 months later or 6 months later, they tell me on Twitter about stories about their patients, and how one person said before they did the course they were really struggling with this lady who was really worried and really anxious, and she didn't know what to do, and she hadn't worked for a few years. And since doing the course and since being able to have a better toolkit of how to help her and give her confidence, she's returned to work quickly, within 2 or 3 sessions. So it really helped her in a rapid sort of way, in a quick way. So I think it's nice for me because on Twitter and in emails and after the course we set up Facebook forums.
Yes.
So we have No Pain France and No Pain Singapore, and delegates who come to the course can then continue to learn and reflect and discuss. And I get to see some of the feedback that comes there, and people are finding some of the work with patients challenging, which it should be. But then the more they do it, the better they get, and they feel more confident, And you came to a course before, and,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, I need some practice to use your tools correctly, and of course, like every other way to work, you have a learning curve. So
You do.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's normal. Yeah.
And I always say to people that the French, I'm here in France, the French artist Henri Matisse,
Yeah.
Henri Matisse said, creativity takes courage. So whenever you try something new, and I'm going to teach you some creative things, some new ways to do things, and you're going to need courage.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I see that. I've spoken with some delegates from the course here,
Yeah.
and they said to me, this is really new, another kind of approach, and they were really pleased,
Yeah.
and they understand your tools, and the only question now is, will I have enough courage to use a lot of, and I think so, because they were really into it, but
Good.
this is really important. Yes, you have to you need courage to change.
Courage, and I always say to anyone who comes to a course that the learning doesn't stop after 2 or 3 days of doing a course. It continues afterwards, and I can be there. I'm always answering questions on Twitter and on emails and Facebook forums, and and also you learn. There's peer learning. So say on Facebook, people who've been to the course together months later, hopefully the people who came to today's course, some will be living in Paris, and some will be living in Marseille, and some will be living in Lyon, and they'll be able to say, I tried this today with my patient, what did you think? And have feedback and help each other,
Yeah. Okay.
which is how learning should work.
Yeah, of course. Yes. Can you give me maybe one or two examples from mem- memorable patients you had, and I know you like to talk about success stories, but sometimes it's harder. So can you just quickly speak about us?
Yeah.
Speak to us about
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
two patients maybe.
Yeah, I think it's really important to think. Sometimes all you hear about is success stories and good stories,
Yeah.
and there's lots of those. I wouldn't be doing this course if there wasn't,
Hopefully.
if I didn't think it worked. So I see lots of patients who get lots better, and I can think of people who've been in wheelchairs for 5 years,
Yeah.
and they're really frightened and scared, and through using behavioural change techniques and through helping people to rethink how pain works
Yeah.
and to feel safe and to feel confident, slowly, gradually, they return to doing things. I can think of one lady who returned back to doing her job. She worked in a supermarket,
Yeah.
and she hadn't done that for years, and she was depressed at home. So great, lovely.
And she was in a wheelchair because of low back pain.
Low back pain and leg pain as well.
Okay.
And she'd been told that she was going to stay in the wheelchair for life. The doctors had said, I'm sorry, but this is now you for life.
Yeah.
So and we see this a lot. Sometimes I sometimes think that healthcare is sick.
Yeah.
Sometimes it really is. We're very, very good at making people feel like damaged goods.
Yeah.
I think-
Nocebo effect.
Yeah, the nocebo effect is really powerful,
Yeah.
and often it's implicit. We don't realise that some of the words that we might use, they help people to feel more threatened and to feel like they have very little hope. And what I teach people is really how to try and do the opposite, how to sell hope to people and give hope to people and to be optimistic.
Yes, because as you explain in your course, threat is highly linked to pain.
Yeah, pain is a threat perception.
Yeah.
Pain is a threat perception. If you reduce the threat perception through education, you can empower people to do things again.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Thank you, Mike. Can you tell us a little bit about where we can find more about you?
Yes, yeah. My website is www.knopain, that's KNOW, so no pain, like understanding pain,
Yeah.
nopain.co.uk, and I'm on Twitter at nopainmike, Facebook, nopainmike. Yeah. That's how you can find me, and also I'm really happy to be coming back to France to Paris and to Nancy and to Montpellier to conferences through the Evidence-Based Practice Agency.
Yes.
So I'm not sure of the website, but you'll be able to tell people.
Yes, yes, of course. It will be on the website, so you will see.
Great, yeah,
That's nice.
yeah, okay. So merci beaucoup and bon voyage.
Merci beaucoup. Thanks, Mike.